Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this great event. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We are happy to have everyone at this great event, which is highlighting the German and Jordanian cooperation, jointly advancing awareness for the sustainable water sector. My name is Trevor Surridge. I am working at the GIZ, looking after the water and energy cluster, and welcome all of you wholeheartedly to the session. We will have in this initial part, we will have some words of welcome from His Excellency the Ambassador of Germany, Dr. von Moltke, followed by a brief word of thanks from His Excellency the Minister of Irrigation and Water here in Jordan, and then we will have a quick launch of the publication and a photo opportunity, and then the Excellencies under their tight schedules will need to move on, and then we'll continue with the rest of the session with a number of very exciting inputs. So thank you very much for being here, and without further ado, I'd like to welcome His Excellency the Ambassador of Germany, Dr. von Moltke, to say a few words of welcome as the orders shifted a little bit, and we look forward to a few words of welcome from yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Einen schönen guten Morgen, good morning, somewhere here. This is about what I can say in Arabic, I'm afraid, so bear with me if I continue in English. It is, of course, a great pleasure to be here with you all on the occasion of the 7th Arab Water Week. The Jordanian water sector faces, as we've heard today, numerous times, a series of profound challenges given the country's unique water situation. Living in one of the most water-scarce countries, Jordan has been consistently and effectively addressing these challenges over generations. The German Development Corporation is proud to support Jordan in tackling most pressing issues in the water sector. Germany has been committed for decades to support the endeavor of promoting a safe and sustainable access to water and sanitation. Germany, in fact, is one of the largest contributors to strengthen the water and sewage sector. When you combine the portfolio of GIZ, KfW and BGR, as well as PTB, you will reach an amount of some 1.1 billion JD. Knowledge transfer and creating knowledge together in a sense of mutual learning plays a central part in our cooperation. We are convinced that lasting achievements of our cooperation always require a solid scientific knowledge base. In this context, I am delighted to celebrate here today not one but two major knowledge milestones of our cooperation in the water sector. Namely, number one, the launch of the digital library and website of the Ministry's Water Awareness and Documentation Center. In 2023, German Minister Svenja Schulze joined His Excellency Minister Rhein in celebrating the official inauguration of the Physical Water Awareness and Documentation Center. I encourage everyone to visit this great achievement of our fruitful cooperation personally in the Ministry of Water and Irrigation. And number two, the launch of the publication Resilience and Innovation in Jordan's Wastewater Sector, contribution of German-Jordanian Development Corporation. Please allow me to use this opportunity to underline a few more points. Ensuring access to drinking water and safely managed sanitation services is a top priority for the Jordanian government and a major focus of our development cooperation with Jordan. In recent years, Jordan has emerged as a world leader in reusing treated wastewater for irrigation. This helps to reduce pressure on precious freshwater resources by directing them to domestic users while providing high-quality treated wastewater to farmers for restricted use. With support from Germany, Jordan continues to strengthen the system needed to implement this approach at a large scale. How do we do that? Through the German Meteorology Institute, PTB, we support Jordan in assuring exact measurement of water flow meters at household level. Our groundwater experts at BGR support the ministry in showcasing the real groundwater situation based on countrywide measurements. We all know groundwater resources are very scarce and need protection. We commission KfW to support the sector in building and improving wastewater treatment plants, as well as building networks to collect more untreated water. GIZ provides valuable technical cooperation and advice. Speaking on our cooperation in the water sector, I could go on for hours, which I will of course not do today. So let me conclude by saying that Germany is a strong partner at the side of our Jordanian friends, and we will remain exactly there. We know that water is the main challenge in Jordan to be further addressed to ensure prosperity and development, as well as stability. And what's not in my little paper here is I am happy to be able to cooperate with His Excellency's ministry and the German-Jordanian University to try to set up a new university program in water management. So this is just a small idea, and it's a very small baby yet, but I hope that at some point in time this baby will grow and be able to walk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And if I could welcome His Excellency the Minister of Water, just to say a quick word of thanks, and then we will move to the ceremonial part. Thanks so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. I will start from what you mentioned. There's a strong relation between Germany and Jordan in the water sector. I do agree. And you know, this is a history between the German and the Jordanian in the water sector starting 1957. And this is a long period of time of the cooperation between the German and the Jordanian. And you are the first countries in the world to come and help us in the water sector and to support us and to get all the know-how from your end to the Jordanian. And I want to mention, because you left nothing to me to say about the cooperation, you said it all, but I have to emphasize also on the BGR, what they're doing with us, especially nowadays with the scarcity of water and with dropping of the aquifers. We're taking from them all the data that we need, how to deal with our aquifers and where to go and where to extract water. This is really the time where we're investing really good with their information and what to do with it. And with your cooperation with the EE library, this will be great support to our students, whether they are in the high school or in the universities, or with the guys that they're doing researches in the water sector. That will be a great value for them. I really can't find the proper word to thank the German government to the support of Jordan. Though I will add also, we still need your support with our national career. You know it all, Your Excellency, and you're following us on every step we've been doing on that one. I appreciate your support and keep it going. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. If I can welcome the Excellencies, maybe we'll go off the stage and just stand in front of us, and we'll see 25 seconds of a video, and then we'll do the handing over of the publication.
اهلا كيفك؟
هلا مهندس، كيف حالك؟ مبارك، الله يسعدك. هلا مهندس، معاك مختار، لقيتني وياك بالمانيا. كيف حالك مهندس؟ لا خلاص
Dr. Jaid, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, to open the technical section of this session. So without ado, I welcome His Excellency Dr. Jaid.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I will talk in English and Arabic in the same. First of all, really, I appreciate the strong cooperation between German and Jordan. Really, without this kind of support, we will never reach what we are now. I start my experience with BGR since 1994. We start with them to assess our water resources, and also not only to find this kind of resources, and also how to sustain this kind of resources. We did many projects, and we did many field survey in order to have a big pictures, clear pictures about what we have regarding our conventional water resources. After that, it was in my dream, how to make this kind of documentation to be a benefit for future generations. It comes in my visions, to create this kind of library, what we call it, digital library and website. This kind of library, one benefit, it will be online, and also we'll have the documentation to be saved for long term. And also this kind of awareness documentations, nowadays it's available not only for and also for all stakeholders, and also can be updated from time to time and to be available at any times. As you know, Jordan also is considered as a pilot country regarding with the reuse of wastewaters. Nowadays we use more than 90% of reuse. German, they did many efforts, great efforts regarding with how to deal with treated wastewaters, either by how to improve the operations, and also how to put the guidelines to sustain this kind of reclaimed waters. In Jordan, we have already launched what we call it technical sustainable management certified program. We have applied this program for more than 20 treatment plants in Jordan in order to wide use of reuse applications for treatment wastewater. And also nowadays we have started already with the sludge management, and we hope that to improve the use of sludge management, not only for one place in Jordan, also to be used on national scale. Thank you again, and really we appreciate the cooperation between Jordan and German. we hope in near future, okay, to reach our visions to implement the national conveyor also by support from German side. Thank you again, and your honor.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I'll now be handing over for the technical sessions, also the moderation, to much more competent technical colleagues. Over to you.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, partners, colleagues, and friends. It is my pleasure to welcome you once more to the second part of our session on German-Jordanian cooperation. Over the next 30 minutes or so, we will take you on a journey that highlights the meaningful and effective collaboration between Jordanian and German partners in the water sector. A key outcome of this collaboration is the transformation, the digital transformation of the Awareness and Documentation Center of the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, realized through the establishment and development of the website and digital library for the center. From the GIZ side, I was proud to be part of the team who worked on this implementation of the digital library and website. Together, we helped bring this insight into life. Of course, we will present more about the digital library and the website. And to dig deeper into this journey, let us go back to where it all started. And please join me in welcoming Rebecca, the project manager of PGR, who will provide her insight into the digital library establishment and also website.
Thank you, Hannah. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, also from my side, a very warm welcome and congratulations to the Ministry and the GIZ for this beautiful launch of the website. It means also a lot to me, and it really is a key part of the Water Documentation and Awareness Center. And why that is, I would like to take you a little bit on the history, how we came to the day today. So a few years ago, as His Excellency already mentioned, he approached us, the German Development Corporation, with this request to develop an area where we can collect and store the knowledge from our 60 years of German-Jordanian cooperation, and as well the knowledge from all the other valuable projects. And we said, yes, this is really a good idea, we support it, we should keep our knowledge. So the aim of the center was really to collect and centralize everything in the water sector, not only reports, but also maps and models, whatever is available. And an additional key point is, of course, also the online access, which we are celebrating here today. And yes, the physical part is already developed, but this other part was missing, so we have the center. While we're discussing, we wanted to have an impact and the sustainability of the documentation center, so we jointly developed the concept of maybe it should be a little bit more than just a center, to make it more attractive for the whole sector and to have a long life. The target group we discussed first is, of course, the ministry employees, but also other ministry employees, official delegation, and as His Excellency also mentioned, student researchers from the water sector. Yes, this is now the initial idea, and for everyone who has not been there, to give you some ideas, we're having here the entrance now into the center, and we are having here further up the digital workstation, which is now active, but it's a crucial part also of the center. We are having, this is the knowledge display, so when people come and look for studies, they can also immediately see their samples of the different aquifers. You have here the 3D model of Jordan, you have the GIZ Water Master Plan available, you have water quality dashboard available. It should give you a comprehensive overview. We also have this area for events. I hope some of you have joined already. But yeah, it's a more open and interactive event area. And as we mentioned, also small space for exchange with the students, with researchers, or trainings. And yes, of course, the important part, the documentation area, where all the studies which are available are now physically placed. And I also urge you all, if you have a new study or something valuable for the water sector, please always make sure that it's also registered here in the documentation center. Yes, to give you some impressions, we started from scratch. Everything was newly redone. And in November 7th, we had 2023. We had the honor of His Excellency, the Water Minister, and our BMZ Minister to inaugurate and open the center. Here are some impressions again from this very nice opening ceremony. And yes, ever since, the center has become to life in the ministry. There are a multiple variety of different events. We have events for the ministry staff, we have events for other governmental visitors, we're having events for like special days, Water Day, Women in the Water Sector, but also it's been used for different trainings and university student exchange. Yeah, this is the center, the physical part, and as I said, until today, this part, this digital part, was always missing, but finally it's also coming to life, so once again, congratulations, and I will now hand over to my dear colleague, Ala Atir. She's the director of the Water Documentation and Awareness Center, and she will explain and show you a little bit more now about the website. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أسعد الله أوقاتكم جميعا بكل الخير. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today for this exciting moment. I'm truly delighted by your presence at this special event, the official launch of Water Documentation and Awareness Center website and digital library. First of all, I would like to thank German Cooperation, represented by BGR and GIZ projects, for their continuous support to our center. As a part of the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, our mission is to collecting and to documenting knowledge and studies related to all water topics, providing training opportunities and awareness initiatives in order to enhance the demand for water-related information and facilitate access to it. Our vision is to work a sustainable information platform. Our website helps bring that mission and vision to life. Our site that reflects our evolving goal, modern, user-friendly, fully available in Arabic and in English, easier access to publication, media and events, more interactive and inclusive for partners and the public, user-friendly navigation, and our design is mobile-friendly. Okay, let's together take a quick tour through of our website. This is our homepage with complete content, all about Water Documentation and Awareness Center, vision, mission, and our short history. This is the heart of our site, Water Documentation and Awareness Center publications. We have dedicated space for a newest publication, annual publication, maps, and training material, all in one place, downloadable and shareable material. This is our digital library, a rich collection of studies, reports, manuals, and guidelines. Stay up to date with our activities and events and training. Our main activities: organizing discussion session, discussion panel, launching a new publications, also celebrating holidays and special occasions like International Women's Day and World Water Day. This is Media Center, browse photos and videos, contact us and partner area, make it easier to engaging with Water Documentation and Awareness Center, and also we have easy to access to the partner website. Let's explore some of the website's most powerful features. We have awareness material, which include high quality videos, presentation, and wait. Okay. And poster, this is the quick link to important websites. Groundwater Equality, this is website for BGR, and the National Water Master Plan for GIZ. Okay. And now let's back to our digital library. A rich collection of studies, reports, manual, and guidelines. From here, you can access to the digital library, fully searchable and categorized, downloadable, available also in Arabic and in English. We have also library catalog. A visitor can search by author, by keywords, year, projects. Okay, and now what's coming next? More publications, more interactive activities, events, and training, building strong tie with the universities to raise awareness, building new partnership. Our most achievement in 2024 in 1 minute. We are very proud of this achievement and grateful for all that made it happen. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, Dr. Jihad, thank you again. Esteemed guests, thank you again. And now I would like to hand over to my colleague Hind Ishrifat for the third part of our session on German-Jordanian cooperation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran jazilan hala. I will start with the second segment of our session today, and we will be focusing on wastewater use in Jordan, making the most of a precious asset. I would like to welcome my colleague, Mr. Burman, for the presentation of our recent publication that have been handed over to the Minister and our German ambassador. Minter, please.
Thank you. Welcome. I want to start with two quotes. The first one from our Honorable Minister of Water and Irrigation. Managing future water sources and achieving higher non-conventional water targets will require us to continue expanding the coverage of wastewater collection and treatment systems. And the second quote from our Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany. The treatment and reuse of wastewater is an example of a strategy
which yields benefits across multiple sectors and helps balance the needs of people, nature, and economic development. These quotes are in the forewords of the publication, and they highlight why it is important that we are here today to talk about wastewater. So I'm excited that I can give you some insights into this joint publication that we just published, Resilience and Innovation in Jordan's Wastewater Sector, Contributions of German-Jordanian Development Cooperation. And here I also want to thank Engineer Wael Al-Dweri for his continued support in this long process of finalizing this publication as a milestone for the sector. It is set up in 3 chapters, and the second chapter, being the heart of the publication, is put up with 5 thematic areas. So I will just go through to give you a quick insight of what you can find in the publication. In the first chapter, Every Drop Counts, making the most of a precious asset, I want to emphasize on 3 points. As you are all aware, Jordan is a water-scarce land with increasing demand, intensifying the pressure on existing water resources. But Jordan is a world leader in the use of reclaimed water, reusing more than 90% of treated wastewater per year. And Jordan has ambitious aims for the future. By 2040, increase sewer connections to 80% and almost double the amount of non-conventional water used for irrigation. Now I want to go into the second chapter to look into how German-Jordanian Development Cooperation is supporting these ambitious aims for the future. The first thematic area is expanding the wastewater infrastructure, and here the publication highlights the KfW investments in sewer connection networks and wastewater treatment plants, especially with a focus on the north of the country. For example, with more than 850 kilometers of new sewer networks that will serve an additional population of 470,000 people. And through construction, upgrading, or rehabilitation of wastewater treatment plants in Ajloun, Balka, Irbid, and Karak Governorate, 2.5 times more wastewater can be treated per day. Looking into the second focus area, improving wastewater treatment, the publication highlights the Technical Sustainable Management, TSM, a quality management system for wastewater treatment plants. In 2022, a TSM unit was established in Waj as a major milestone, and since then more than 20 extensive full-fledged TSM inspections have been done by the unit. In addition, German Development Cooperation is also providing critical support for operation and maintenance to sustain operations and secure investments. One example here is the institutionalization of the Regional Technical Support Center in Yarmouk. And lastly, we want to emphasize also on the development of the wastewater workforce through sector-wide training needs assessment and the establishment of the Water Training Center in Marka as a training hub for the water sector. The third focus area is looking into reusing treated wastewater. And here, a major game changer as a major alternative source of water is the spotlight on Asamra wastewater treatment plant, which produces 70% of all treated wastewater in Jordan. A second highlight in this chapter is the new reuse system in the north, and it's aimed to harness the growing volume of reclaimed water from wastewater treatment plants in the north and deliver it to farmers to the Jordan Valley. And the third highlight is looking at something different, at reclaiming water from ritual washing. And here, a great example is a 75% reduction in freshwater use through the introduction of grey water recycling to be used for irrigation of greenery and gardens in the largest mosque in Jordan. Our fourth topic, promoting energy efficient and climate-friendly wastewater systems. Wastewater systems are energy intensive. And so GDC is supporting the mainstreaming of energy efficiency across cooperation measures. Also the implementation of the water and energy management system in water utilities and the identification of energy savings through energy audits. In addition, the publication highlights wastewater to power operations through biogas CHP systems in hydropower plants. And lastly, exploring the potentials of sludge as a resource for carbon sequestration and the reduction of CO2 emissions. The last focus area is looking into the governance aspects. Here, GDC is strengthening the planning, monitoring and coordination functions within the Ministry WAJ and JVA to support water and wastewater master plans and strategies, as well as the Utility Performance Monitoring Unit, who reviews key performance indicators and publishes annual monitoring reports. GDC is also supporting the water utilities to improve management and operational efficiencies, increase revenues, and attain financial sustainability. And the last chapter on the outlook into a resilient future of the wastewater sector in Jordan, I will leave to the upcoming panelists to discuss. There are some ideas in the publication, but we'll hear more now.
Thank you so much, Mete. And now I would like to ask our panelists. We will go through a small panel discussion regarding the future of the wastewater sector in Jordan. And I would like to welcome Engineer Sufyan Bataina, the Secretary General of Water Authority of Jordan, Mr. Marius Raab, the German Development Advisor for the German Embassy in Jordan, and the Program Manager at the delegation of the European Union, Engineer Omar Awari. Thank you so much. Just wait 1 minute for Engineer Sufyan. You have to leave the... Yeah, here's come. Good morning, Engineer Omar. Mr. Marius, I would like to welcome you to our panelists to discuss the future of the wastewater sector in Jordan and to have a perspective of what the German-Jordanian cooperation is up to and what are the also integration and activity on the European Union implementation in the wastewater sector. I would like to start with Your Excellency, Engineer Sufyan. The Water Authority of Jordan has undertaken significant reforms, including the establishment of water utilities. How do you think this how does this water authority envision in the future development of the management of wastewater sector in Jordan, and especially with the increasing water treatment capacity as well as with the improvement in the energy sector?
Thank you very much.
Take your time.
As all, we are aware that Jordan, the water sector, we have published the National Water Strategy 2023 to 2040. This strategy defined in its description how to increase the capacity of our wastewater treatment plants. What we have today, around 32 wastewater treatment plants that receive around 600,000 meter cubic a day of treated raw sewage. These treatment plants produce around 220 million cubic meter per year. We're almost using around 90 to 95 of these treated wastewater for irrigation purposes. What we are aiming in the next 5 years to increase the capacity of this wastewater treatment plant up to 800,000 meter cubic a day. How this will be happening? We have several projects in Jordan nowadays. Some of these projects under implementation, some of these projects under stage, and the other in the design and feasibility study. We have today in Jordan many projects of extension of sewer network all around the country, starting from the north in Naramta, and go pass through to Ajlon, Jarash, East, West Erbil, and we have in Amman several projects up to Al-Karak, and we have a study in Ma'an to extend the sewer network. In addition to that, we have wastewater treatment plant project. Recently, we started operating At-Tafila wastewater treatment plant, Jarash wastewater treatment plant. Today, under implementation, we have a Salt wastewater treatment plant, we have Wadi al-Arab wastewater treatment plant, we have Central Erbil wastewater treatment plant, and we have Al-Ramsa wastewater treatment plant. These plants are under implementation nowadays. Some of these plants closely to be start operated like a Salt. Under tender stage, we have West Erbil wastewater treatment plant. We have Northeast Balka wastewater treatment plant. We have also Madaba wastewater treatment plant, and we have rehabilitation and upgrading of South Amman. In feasibility stage and the study stage, we have Al-Shallala, we have Fahas and Mhiyas wastewater treatment plant, and we have start looking for Ma'an. If you're taking into consideration this wastewater treatment plant and the extension of sewer network, we are aiming to have the 800,000 meter cubic a day in the coming next 5 years. For the terms of energy efficiency, what we are doing nowadays, we're trying to install in these wastewater treatment plants CHPs. We're trying to maximize the benefit of the use of production of methane in these wastewater treatment plants in order to use these gas to produce energy. Not only this concept, also we are trying to install PV system in these plants. This PV system will give additional energy to these treatment plants. In addition to that, we are trying to minimize the pumping station that we are using to pump sewer network, so that we try to minimize the need of energy that we are taking from the grid to make the operation and maintenance, the O&M cost of these wastewater treatment plants as minimum as we can.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency Engineer Sufyan. As we were talking about the German-Jordanian cooperation since the beginning of the session and the cooperation for like many years, we would focus on the cooperation in the wastewater sector, and I would ask Mr. Marisro, how does the VMT support the Water Authority of Jordan to address water scarcity and climate change in terms of the management of the wastewater sector in Jordan? Please.
Yeah, thank you very much, and welcome everybody, and also Excellency, welcome to you. We are looking forward to working with you in the next years to come. Please allow me maybe a wider comment. First, our ambassador just mentioned 1.1 billion JD that the German government, including loans, one has to say, invests here in Jordan. At the moment, if you put a spotlight on our cooperation, you sum up everything, it's 1.1 billion. So it's a huge commitment by the German taxpayers to support Jordan in this critical field. It's a center piece of our cooperation here also, and for good reasons. I mean, you're all experts in the water sector, you know why we do this. For Jordan, it's very important. For us, it's top priority, including the national conveyor also. And to reduce the pressure on the groundwater resources is, I think, the overarching headline when it comes to wastewater treatment. We know the numbers of the aquifers that VGR is working on. Now the quality of water comes in, the nitrate levels are rising, so it's really high time to focus on that area. That's why we are active in the wastewater treatment area. With WATCH, of course, our cooperation through GIZ, the colleagues of the organizations you saw before or you see there,
we are very active with the Water Authority of Jordan, and there are some key areas. One is to increase the volume of wastewater that can be treated. Every drop counts. Water is the gold of Jordan, so there's nothing to waste, and so wastewater is a precious resource, and to treat it in a way that it adheres to the national standards, that the farmers are open to use that resource because they can trust in the quality. I think that's very important. So we support Jordan and watch in improving the wastewater treatment plants, the monitoring of the treated wastewater, the quality of it. As I said, to make sure it's actually adhering to the standards that can be used in agriculture. Also, energy efficiency was mentioned. It's very important when it comes to climate change adaptation. I mean, all this is already climate change adaptation, but greenhouse gas emission reduction is one area that His Excellency mentioned. So we are active there. Maybe I included that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marius. And we all know that the EU was always supporting for the water sector in Jordan, especially with the wastewater sector, as we have a lot of activities jointly together through GIZ implementation and through WISE. I would like to ask Engineer Omar Abu Eid. The European Union has played a key role in supporting water and wastewater sector in Jordan. Could you share the perspective on the impact of the EU contribution to manage scarce water resources, increasing climate resilience and contributing to the global environmental goals? In particular, we will focus the initiative and activities of the EU in the wastewater sector. Thank you.
Shukran, Your Excellency, congratulations again and wishing you all the best. Dear Marius, Your Excellencies, dear guests, dear colleagues, thank you for this kind invitation. And, I cannot really add more on what His Excellency mentioned and what Marius mentioned. Basically, we complement each other as partners. The EU is not a donor. We are a partner with our colleagues, the different European partners represented by the esteemed embassies here. We actually join forces really to help develop main sectors and really reply to needs, particularly the very important water sector with the main fact of water scarcity, but equally important, the opportunity for resource efficiency on top reusing wastewater and treated wastewater. Allow me just to mention a few general points. Again, we are really a main partner, not only in the water sector, but in fact across different sectors. And we're proud to join forces with Jordan, represented by the government at large, in the Union for the Mediterranean, where the water sector is also among the highest priorities, particularly that we are all witnessing the climate change impacts that we feel and live every day, including today, within the Mediterranean zone particularly. And on top, we're also happy to align different ways of cooperation, whether it's our bilateral support, regional support, and equally important, refugee response in the past 10 to 12 years particularly, and will continue to align such support to the national needs of Jordan and on top the water sector. In the past few years, everyone heard about the Green Deal, and Engineer Hind asked about our response in relation to climate action. The Green Deal is basically Europe, the member states, the EU, we're all joining forces to be the first climate neutral continent by 2050. And to do so, we'll not do it alone. We want to work with our partners, particularly our main neighborhood partners on top Jordan and the rest of the Euromed zone, but as well, we extend our exchange with the world at large. We represent that through different ways within Europe, with the partners, under partnership agreements, but also in international conventions like the climate change COP and beyond as well. A main pillar of the Green Deal is not only green energy as green energy, but green energy for water, including sustainable water, green energy for resources, including resource efficiency, and green energy for farming, from farm to fork, and the other sectors like the building sector, the transport, and so on. In Jordan, particularly, we've been really witnessing a journey of partnership, and we're really happy to see the different partners in the water sector, the ministry, WAJ, the Jordan Valley Authority, as well as our partners, including our member states, implementing partners, and also the financial institutions. As we speak today, the EU is part of more than 1.1 billion euro of ongoing programs in the water sector, 1.2 billion euros particularly, and part of which is almost 35%, like up to 350 to 400 million from the EU. It's either blended with loans with our partners like KfW, AFD, EIB, our bank, EBRD, and others. And the main focus, like today we speak about 14 projects, 10 out of the 14 are touching wastewater management, particularly integrated wastewater management. Again, as I mentioned, we are at a stage where it's not only the conventional wastewater management. To have His Excellency referred to the networks, very important, the treatment, but he also referred to the reuse. This is one important part. And a main part of what we believe in now, and also part of the Green Deal, is the famous Nexus approach. Everyone talks about Nexus, but it's not enough. It's really time to act in a Nexus way, whether it's planning, it's implementation and follow-up, and ensuring resource efficiency. So Nexus without resource efficiency doesn't really fit. The vision of the EU and the policy is really to have Nexus versus resource efficiency. I give some examples with our projects that we do with BMZ and also in close collaboration with the implementing partners like GIZ and KfW. We have some projects, whether it's networks, wastewater treatment facilities, but we started, as His Excellency mentioned, thinking of biogas reuse from sludge. And sludge is the main product that is now an opportunity to use and convert the challenge into an opportunity. This is resource efficiency within a Nexus modality, as Marius also referred to, the energy efficiency and more clean energy. We're also keen to see more reuse. Everyone thinks of the agriculture sector, but treated wastewater can be used for other sectors. In Jordan, we still have a booming building sector. We have industries. We have mining strategy for Jordan that is also part of future transitions like the energy transition and other sectors transition. So it's important really to highlight the important role of such resource in this direction. From our programs, we also tackle main areas like non-revenue water, and we're happy that we join forces with different partners, with the teams at WAJ, as well as with the different partners as donor agencies in our bilateral and regional support programs where we tackle this particular part. Again, resource efficiency, we have different types of water other than wastewater, like brackish water and other sources. And on top, I would give some highlight. As EU policy, we are now joining forces with our partners, the member states, but also some of the financing institutions, what we call Team Europe initiative. Today, as we speak, and I speak under the control of my dear colleague Marius, we have more than 2 billion euros of support to the water sector collectively as EU and European member states, which is really a main part. It's not the number, it's the impact. So we're joining forces really to make a big shift, to align our support not only for infrastructure, and on top is the famous Aqaba Amman water desalination and conveyance project, but equally important reforms, non-revenue water, financial reforms, among others that we feel are the way forward to support also sustainable water management. Allow me to finish. It has been a journey and will continue. I've been working closely on the water sector through the EU for the past 21 years. But no doubt we really touched on several areas, but wastewater and its reuse is definitely a main priority that we'll continue to work on. We shifted from more thematic support, purely on water, purely on energy, waste management, into the nexus and the resource efficiency through green economy initiatives, as well as collectively with our partners, the member states, the European member states, on top Germany and others, but equally important with our financing institutions. I would conclude finally, everyone heard a couple of months ago, or almost 3 months already, we signed a new strategic and comprehensive partnership. It's a €3 million support to Jordan. It complements what we started as well in the region with Egypt and with Morocco. And hopefully Jordan will have a different impact in such partnership. It complements what we do at the moment. This is for the years 25-27. There are numerous elements, macroeconomy support, but equally important, infrastructure and main sectors such as water, and reforms as well as climate-driven activities that we will continue to do and happily continue our partnership with the ministry as well as with the different partners in the sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Engineer. Thank you so much for the insight, but I would like to ask you, what is the priority for the EU for I would say, for the upcoming 10 years in the wastewater sector? Do you have one priority that you will focus on?
At the moment, we have numerous ongoing initiatives. Exactly, you mentioned some. We're joining forces in main infrastructure development across, like Ramta, West Erbil, Al-Ghabawi, which is part of the response to the refugees. But also has an excellent nexus approach as well as resource efficiency, among others. Our main support will continue to be really in such complementarities, like bringing really the utmost of a project. It's not purely water, it's really the nexus one. It's not energy, it's the nexus one. For water sector and wastewater, it will be the same, whether it's the bilateral, the regional, as well as our infrastructure sector.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Engineer Omar. I will go back to Mr. Marius, and I would ask you the same. What do you see the priorities for the German government in the wastewater sector for the upcoming 10 years, I would say, in Jordan?
Yeah, so maybe as a first comment is to say that the resources that also the German government has for development cooperation, we see that also in other countries, is under pressure. So we need to really discuss and prioritize very smartly with the host government, so the government of Jordan. So for us it's very important from the partner side to have clear priorities set that we can align with. Next year we will have our intergovernmental negotiations. We will sign our new package of support to Jordan. We will see the new German government is currently forming. We will see the budget for next year. So, so the priorities of the government telling us what they want, I think it's one of the most important things, given the fact that funds are becoming increasingly scarce. I mean, some areas that we work on with the government, on behalf of the government, is maybe just to name a few, is sludge was already mentioned as a potential source for many good things, which is surprising to people who don't know a lot about sludge like me. I've just seen some months ago a pilot project we opened from GIZ, a sludge drying system using solar energy. And when you reach a certain dryness, it opens up a huge variety of options with pellets as energy carrier in the industry. So that's maybe an interesting path to follow. Then, of course, to increase the volumes, I mentioned it, reuse through KfW development in the north. We will, they are already working on this to connect certain wastewater treatment plants through pipelines, which then brings the treated wastewater down to the Jordan Valley, also using the gravity to produce energy out of that. Very smart approach. Also to support the young water company potentially in improving its operations of the wastewater treatment plants. So that's part of the privatization. And yeah, further optimize the operation of the plants. Also maybe using artificial intelligence. That's also one area that the government is open, where we can bring solutions. And the last thing is to say that, of course, the wastewater treatment, the wastewater sector with the national conveyor delivering 300 million cubic meters per year. That's a huge amount of water. Yes, some goes to Aqaba, but the majority comes here. So this water needs to be treated also and not let to the groundwater to infiltrate and pollute. So there's a lot to work on, and we are looking forward to continuing the work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marius. And I would come back to Your Excellency, Engineer Sufyan. Listening to all these, I would say, achievement and contribution within the German government, the European Union, how do you see that WAJ is planning to address the financial sustainability of such a project, and how you are planning to sustain all these invest and projects within our discussion?
Thank you very much. Actually, this is a good opportunity to say thank you for all our partners who support water sector through the fund that we received for our project. So thank you for all our partners from all of our countries over the world. They are close friends to Jordan, and we appreciate their support. Regarding the financial sustainability, actually, we have many aspects that we can deal with in order to keep the sustainability of this project and to keep it running in a good way. As we are working in several projects for sewer network and the extension of this sewer network, this means new house connections that the customer will need to pay a fees for this house connection. This is the first point that we can gain revenues from this connection. In addition to that, water sector since 2-3 years ago, we made a restructuring for the tariff. Restructuring the tariff, either increase the tariff for 4% yearly or for make it in monthly basis. This is also give us a good scenario for keeping sustain the financial situation of the water sector and for the project. In addition to that, we are trying to make the involvement of private sector as much as we can in operating the assets of the water sector, either wastewater treatment plant in different scenarios, either BOT or in any other scenarios that can support or help us to sustain our project. In addition to that, we are trying to make the energy efficiency improvement, either making the pumping for the sewer or the wastewater as minimum as we can, to replace the pumping station by gravity sewer pipeline, or either by making improvement for the system inside this wastewater treatment plant, for example, using new technology. We are talking now today AIs in controlling the system. This will be managing the consumption of energy. In addition to that, we are trying to install, as I mentioned before, the using of the CHPs and the protection of energy either from CHPs or from the PV system that added to the wastewater treatment plant. Not only these, but we are working on the capacity building for the team who are working on this wastewater treatment plant. We are making capacity building for the team who are working in the wastewater treatment plant in order to make to give them the best practice in order to minimize the using of energy. These are some items that we are as WAJ or as water sector trying to make it to help us in order to keep our project in a sustainable way, so that it will be go and still can be operated for maximum years of operation.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Engineer Sufyan Al-Bataina. And on your behalf, I would ask if there's any question from the audience regarding our... Yes, please.
Thank you very much. A very interesting discussion, but if you allow me I would like to comment on the way how international agencies or commissions or industrial countries are putting some regulations for dealing with developing countries in general. If I can just take the idea of Green Deal. Some years ago, we were talking about globalization. And the developing countries started to adopt their strategies and policies to deal with globalization, putting some limitations and some conditions for export and import. And we are just trying to now to adapt. There is a trend of changing the story of globalization. What started by changing the taxation, and then it's coming to every country. So the rules of export and import is going to be changed globally. An example. Another example is the Green Deal and the story of GCF and funding projects, etc. Let me be very straightforward and very honest with you. The problems are clear. We have very clear impact of climate change in the Middle East and in Arab countries. We need very straightforward solutions that hit the problem. In Egypt, we have sea level rise, for example. Sea level rise is hitting the north coast of Egypt very clearly, and the examples and the solutions are very clear. When we try to access funding from here and there, European Commission, the Americans, Japanese, whatever, it's too complicated. And it ends up by getting loans and not grants. So you are surviving and suffering from an impact, a clear impact of climate change, and at the end you need to get loan to deal with the climate change that is not coming from you. You are not the cause of this climate change. So the solution is too complicated and I have to pay for it. So that's a very clear example that if we want to tackle climate change, do not ask the Arab or the Middle Eastern countries to pay for it. This example is valid also for Jordan. Increasing temperature means increasing the water demand. And the solutions are very clear. Wastewater reuse, desalination. There is nothing more than these two for getting more resources. So we need to hit this. We need to establish clearly and fund and co-fund water treatment plants and desalination plants. And shouldn't end up by Jordan or Egypt or other countries again to get loans to fund these solutions. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. Very it's straightforward. In the case of Jordan, what's maybe interesting in that context is that we move forward with a debt swap. So we are writing off debt to Jordan from the German government side for using that money for the national conveyor, for example, other things. So debt is a big challenge, and these days more. So yeah, I took note of the point.
Well, thank you for the question. It's not to defend, I totally see your point. But for many who do not know, our support is basically a mix of both grants and loans. So as EU, mostly it's grants, which are some blended as well with loans, especially when it comes to infrastructure. And usually these are quite expensive initiatives and programs. So actually it's a combination. And there are also other elements. I refer to like special elements when it comes to response to refugee crisis, which is aligned with national needs. And with that, we actually tackle the support indirectly. For example, we mentioned Al-Ghabawi, Your Excellency. It's to transfer a main wastewater treatment facility from downtown Amman all the way to Ghabawi with an excess approach, where actually the grant versus loan is quite similar, contrary to other initiatives, but because it is really a refugee response. So when it comes to the support of the government, it's usually coming as a delegation in grants. But to the private sector, as well as to big infrastructure, we offer it also a blend to be blended with loans. And over the past few years, although it could be not sufficient, but it started, there is an attempt also to enhance more green finance opportunities. It could be small scale, medium scale, and large scale. I give you a quick example, and sorry for being long. Together with EBRD, we launched the Green Economy Financing Facility. It's a regional initiative, part of which is in Jordan. In each country, we made available between the loans of EBRD and the grant of the EU as an incentive mechanism, tens of millions per each country, where it's provided and offered for the private sector at small scale, medium size, and even bigger scale to make use of, whether it's industries, but also different initiatives when it comes to business. And it actually was also an awareness way really to tackle the climate lens. On another hand, no doubt there will be the chance, and for the EU with the climate approach, by next year we have the CBAM, the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. Some look at it as a tax, but in fact it's an incentive. And again, in the industrial sector, to align with that means that you would have really the product much better, not only climate aligned, but in fact better in terms of quality and possible competition. So you can see it in different ways. I can see your point about the finance to be provided and made available. But again, not defending, the EU with its member states have really done a lot really for the climate part, especially for the region as well as for the globe.
Just I need to add some statements. Actually, our partners, our donors, they are giving Jordan, even if it's a loan, it's a soft loan with a grace period sometimes for 10 years. That means it's not too much loans on the shoulders of the government of Jordan. Regarding the climate change, we have a policy for the climate change and water authority of Jordan, and the climate change does not affect Jordan only, it affects the whole world. But from the point of climate change, what we are doing, we are trying to maximize the use of treated wastewater assets and make it a part of the water budget of the Jordan. Today we are trying to use more than 200 million of treated wastewater, which is treated according to the Jordanian standard, and make it available to be used for irrigation purpose.
Thank you so much. Any question, please?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Reza Rahman from Saudi Arabia. I would like to comment on the comments of His Excellency the Minister of Water in Egypt, which is he did really with very important challenge, funding water and climate adaptation projects. I think we have to find solutions for this. And to me, I wrote some notes now. We have to diversify funding instruments. What I mean by this, explore alternative funding instruments such as grants and equity to reduce reliance on debt-based financing. I think the other point, we have to foster public-private collaboration, encourage collaboration between public and private sectors to leverage funding and explore for water and climate adaptation initiatives. We have also to improve the project preparation. What I mean by this, we have to convince multilateral development banks and funding agencies by submitting really some proposals, including, the objectives, clear proposal, plan, and also the consequences of these projects for adaptation. So we have to really submit sound and justified proposal to fund these water and climate adaptation. The last point is to develop new financing approaches. By exploring new financing approaches such as blending financing models and technical assistance to support water-related investment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
much. Just to pick on one point, accessing funds to tackle climate change, green climate funding, is for sure a big challenge for countries. His Excellency the Minister of Water from Egypt mentioned it. So we will, through GIZ, the idea is to support the government here to be in a better position technically to write the proposals, to overcome all these administrative burdens, because it's a very cumbersome process. So just to mention and picking up that point.
If I may add also on my response, I think there's an important opportunity today, and His Excellency referred to it, public-private partnership. And to facilitate that, we're also thinking of a new approach, which is providing guarantee schemes for even commercial banks and the private sector, that they can get more engaged in the green development business, and that would really also entail water and wastewater treatment facilities. So that's also another way of international agencies, donor coordination when it comes to enhancing green finance at large. So the guarantee scheme is there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we'll take our last question.
Thank you very much. My question is to Your Excellency about wastewater and your ambitious goal to achieve higher amounts of treated wastewater to be used in the agriculture as a substitution. My question is, there is a holistic national overview of your goal. For example, I will give an example of Assamra. Assamra is a very big wastewater treatment plant, maybe collecting 70% of the wastewater of the country, flowing to a reservoir, a big reservoir which is internal dam, where it's blended with water, and it's a reclaimed water of a very high quality that goes and flows safely to the Jordan Valley, our food basket in Jordan. Do we have such an overview for the coming years, so as not to create problems at each and every single wastewater treatment plant that is scattered all over the country? Take the example of South Amman. South Amman is very good in the summer, where it's no, there's many farms are taking the water in the summer, but in the winter, where we have to store the water and there's no demand, it's creating local problems. So are we really tackling this in our goals to increase the amounts of the wastewater treatment?
Thank you very much. Actually, we have in this vision. Let us start from the north. In the north, we have, if we started from a wastewater treatment plant and to Ash-Shalala, then Central Erbil, then Wadi al-Arab, we have connection between all these plants in order to take the treated wastewater up to the to be diluted after the Wadi al-Arab dam. So that we are trying to maximize the use of this treated wastewater to use for irrigation purpose after dilution with fresh water. And as you mentioned, the South Amman, today we are finding the final solution for West South Amman. We will convey the extra. You know that we have farmers close to the South Amman. They have the priority to use this treated water in order to keep their farms surviving by using our treated wastewater. We cannot stop sending the treated wastewater to them. But in case if we have excess amount of this treated wastewater, we have a proposal to have a pipeline from South Amman pass through, taking the treated wastewater also from Madaba wastewater treatment plants up to Al Kafrain Dam. This treated wastewater will be used in Jordan Valley for irrigation purpose. This is two scenarios that we have for maximizing the use of treated wastewater as much as we can in order to be as added value. And you know, Engineer Sudan, that once we have each drop goes to Jordan Valley, means there's a drop goes to the drinking water. So that we are trying to maximize the use of treated wastewater in order to reallocate the fresh water to be used for drinking purpose.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency Engineer Sufyan. I would like to thank our audience. I would like to thank Your Excellency Engineer Sufyan, Engineer Omar, Mr. Marius for the very interesting discussion and the insight into the different approaches of supporting the wastewater sector. Thank you so much and have a nice day.